Hello everyone, Ryan here. Oceanus. Oceanus by Dane Cobain. It's an experimental poem, long poem. And by the way, if you didn't already know, Dane is a fellow booktuber, YouTuber. I suppose primarily booktuber. And I've known him for a while now. I want to say more than a couple of years, if not 3, 4, 5 years. I don't know. I've stopped paying attention to time at this point. But so yeah, I got to read his latest published work, Oceanus, which I'm not even sure if I'm pronouncing it correctly, but that's how I pronounce it. So Oceanus, and of course it's a long poem. It's all about, it has something to do with commemorating the Titanic, the sinking of the Titanic. Well, I mean, of course, not just the sinking of the Titanic, but its creation as well. And so, I mean, these kinds of poems, like, I'm all about. I mean, I consider myself a poet as well. I've also written many. I've written a lot of experimental poetry, poetic stuff, and I've self-published a lot of it too. Of course, they're wildly unpopular. But Dane, I mean, I like that, he's good about getting his stuff out there, and he promotes it as to the best of his ability. And so, I mean, I guess, well, me, I don't really like, I lose motivation when it comes to promoting my own stuff, but anyways, I didn't mean to go off on a tangent there. It's just because, well, mostly because Dane's work, especially this experimental poem, it reminds me a lot of my own work, so I'm sorry, but I can't help but make that comparison. So I'll try to keep it to a minimum, but yeah, so I mean, it's an experimental poem. I like it. Like I said, it reminds me a lot of my own stuff, my own poetic experiments. And I like the flow of it, although I will say it took me a little while to get into the flow of it, or I don't know, maybe it's just because I've never really cared that much about the Titanic in general. Even back when the Titanic movie came out and it was real popular, and even then I really didn't care that much about the Titanic. And I mean, yeah, the movie was all right. I've never even really been a big fan of the movie. So, but I do like this. I like Oceanus. Like I said, I like the flow of it. I like that it actually made me wonder about what such an experience might have been like. I mean, because obviously, I know it's one of those things where you have to actually experience it to fully understand what it does feel like, or what such an experience encompasses, I suppose. I mean, fortunately, not many of us do experience stuff like that. But this poem, yeah, definitely, it made me wonder about that, like not only that, and then I don't know why, but for some reason, then it made me think about pirates. I guess because like I started thinking about ships and the ocean and sea and life at sea. So then I started thinking about pirates, and I started kind of thinking, I wonder, if pirates had to deal with, I'm sure, pirates had to deal with a sinking ship every now and then. But I also kind of feel like, 'cause this was the thought process I had while I was thinking about pirates, reading the poem and then thinking about pirates, and I had this weird thought process, and where I thought about, pirates, they must have dealt with sinking ships every now and then, but at the same time too, they were probably used to it. They were used to life at sea. So I guess maybe, to pirates, it wasn't that big of a deal, or if it was a big deal to them, I guess they just, really didn't talk about it that much, or maybe that's why they drank a lot of rum to, not only help them with the seasickness, but also help them to forget certain things that they experienced at sea. So, again, that's part of my thought process. But that's what this poem, Oceanus, that's what it did to me. It made me think about that stuff. And obviously, I liked it. I enjoyed it. I actually wish it was a little longer. I don't know what else to say about it. Maybe I might have to reread it maybe a couple more times, just so I can really grasp whatever kind of, overall message that Dane tried to get across. Or maybe he wasn't really trying to get any message across. I don't know. I don't know, Dane, you tell me. But no, in all seriousness, I did enjoy it. I wrote a review on Goodreads and on Amazon. I give it 4 stars. Wish I could have given it 4.5 and I guess I think the only thing that kept me from giving it 5 stars was I wanted it to be longer. And yeah, like I said, Dane is just, Dane, I know that that I like this experimental stuff. So yeah, and I hope you continue to write more and publish more. In fact, Dane, you've inspired me to keep writing my own stuff as well. So yeah, what I don't know what else I can possibly say. I give it 4 out of 5 stars. I recommend it to everyone who's in the mood for something different, something experimental, and also if you happen to be a really big fan of the Titanic, the movie or the actual ship. Yeah, read it, download it, buy it, share it with your friends and family if possible. That's it. That'll do it for my review of Oceanus by Dane Cobain. Once again, I give it 4 out of 5 stars. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. As always, next time, don't forget, keep it real, keep on rocking in. Peace.